What's up, guys? Corey Oldham here. In this video, I want to share with you the concept of funnels. And if you're inside this software, you probably have some working knowledge of funnels. You could be anywhere from a beginner just hearing about funnels. You could be beginning to work on a funnel for your business, or you could be even an expert. You've been around funnels for a long time. But in this video, I want to show you why practically any and every business could use and should use a funnel to automate practically all of your sales, all of your lead gen. And if that sounds appealing, stick around. We're going to share with you some key points to look at when it comes to funnels. Now, most people, when they're thinking of a funnel, they're thinking virtually. At the time of this recording is 2020, and most businesses know, hey, I should have a website. And I'm going to pit funnels against websites. And I'm going to show you why having a funnel is actually going to be more productive for your business and even more lucrative for your business. And so let's talk virtually. Let's talk about websites versus funnels. And we're going to make this conversation really simplistic in nature. I know there's a whole bunch of variables, and even in the other training videos, I'm going to share with you the different types of funnels. There's a ton of different types. You can go check those out. We're going to talk lead gen funnels, presentation funnels, sales funnels, application funnels, where people are literally applying to work with you and pay you, which is totally awesome. Physical product funnels, homepage funnels, which kind of mirror in a way websites. Anyway, you can go check out that one. And even subscription funnels, where you're having somebody pay you over and over and over again, which is totally awesome. But let's back up and talk about websites versus funnels. Now, when you have just a general, say a small business owner, they have a website. They're thinking, I've got to be online. I've got to have online presence, right? And so they have a website. And a typical website, maybe it has a picture or a video of the business owner, and maybe it has some tabs up here that have a whole bunch of drop-down menus, right? And maybe they have some buttons over here and something else there. They've got a whole bunch of things, right? And so say someone comes to, this is little guy virtually, and he comes to this website. Now, if somebody is traveling to your website, they go to your website, right? Whether they dial it in on their phone or they're looking on a desktop, they come to your website. Where's the next spot that they will go? Do we know with absolute certainty? No, we don't. My book's falling on my shelf. We don't know where they're going. There's a whole bunch of variables, right? They got drop-down menus. They could come here or here or here. They could come over here. They could come here. They could maybe watch the video. And when you give a whole bunch of options to people, what happens? Squirrel syndrome, so to speak, can set in, right? And so they leave or bounce. And there's actually a measurement for that called the bounce rate. But they come to your website, maybe they check some things out, maybe they get bored, and then they leave. Do we really want that to happen for all the customers that are coming to our website? No. We've got a whole bunch of exit points. They may come here and here and here and then just say, I'm done. When that happens, what happens to our lead generation? It plummets. What happens to our sales? It plummets. And we think as even small business owners, so even my wife and I, we've owned our own business for well over a decade at this point. And to have that kind of thing happen to a business owner, you think, gosh, I don't want that to happen. I want to be able to get customers, get lots of customers, and convert them. Does a website necessarily do that? Not necessarily. So how can we get somebody to our page? They land on our page, and typically in the marketing realm, we call this a landing page. They land on my page, and say I have a video right here. Maybe I had a headline up here. I have a video. And in the video, I'm sharing something. I'm solving a problem. Now, a lot of people say, hey, I'm giving value. A way to give value, solve a problem. Solve a problem for your customer. It could be a complex problem. It could be a simple problem. It could be as simple as, so this past weekend, my son, he got a lemonade stand for Christmas. And at the time of this recording, it's now summertime, it's June. And he got a lemonade stand for Christmas, and he's been waiting for several months to be able to use it. And he's all excited and keeps asking and asking and asking. And so finally we set up the lemonade stand. We actually set it up at a golf course because golfers are driving by. And so we set it up right next to that golf course, and he was solving a problem. So even with his lemonade stand, he solved a problem. Hey, these people are thirsty. They want something to drink. So we sold lemonade, and he did really, really well. So whatever value you're giving, solve a problem. So he solved a problem. They were thirsty, which is totally cool. Maybe you solve a more complex problem. Maybe you're a small business owner, you're an accountant, you're a financial advisor, you're a real estate agent. I have a lot of clients that are chiropractors. You're solving some level of a problem, okay? So do that in this video. So say they come to my funnel, and I have a video here, and I solve a problem. I teach them something, for example, okay? And I teach them enough that I've given enough value that I say, hey, if you want this free ebook, for example, and I disclaimer, there's a whole bunch of options for this, a whole bunch of variations, got a whole bunch of other videos about that. But this is just a simple example. They land on my landing page, and I add value. I say, hey, if you want this free ebook, drop your email address and I'll send it to you. And then they whack I call it the gimme button. So when they come to my landing page, they can do one of two things. They could bounce, yeah, they could leave, or give me their email and proceed. That's it. So what did I do in that moment? I controlled and guided the focus of my customer. I guided the focus of where their brain is right now with my video, and then talked about an ebook, for example. Hey, give me that email and I'll send it to you. And then they whack the gimme button. How many options do you have? You could either proceed, you could leave. What do I want them to do? I obviously want them to proceed. Over here, how many options do I have? It could be infinite. And a lot of business owners, they'll say, well, I gotta give them all the information. I gotta info vomit. If you're a business owner for any length of time, you've probably info vomited. I've certainly fallen victim to that one plenty of times, but I would encourage you with a question like this. You know, when did that really work well for you with the info vomit, right? It's not so hot. It's not so good. So while having a website can establish credibility, hey, you're a legit business, I don't drive traffic to websites ever. I drive traffic to my funnel. So what's a funnel? A funnel is me guiding and controlling my potential customers' focus as they become a customer. They give me their email, they become a customer, and then they buy over and over again. I want to be able to control that journey. That's a funnel. So website versus funnel, that's a funnel. I want to guide and control that focus, okay? Now, this isn't limited to just online. If you own any kind of business for any length of time, you've probably even had a funnel. So I'm going to describe real simply and give one example, because there's two components that I'm going to share with you here in a moment, and both of them are like a big, huge onion that have tons of layers, okay? A big, huge onion, tons of layers. And I got other training videos that go more in depth on how to methodically create the frameworks to make these two things, which make up your funnel. But I'm going to share with you real quick these two things, and then I want to share with you the customer journey, which is the most important part of this video, okay? So a funnel has two pieces. A sales message and an offer. That's a funnel. A message, something you speak, whether out of your mouth or virtually online, something you speak out of your mouth, and then offer. That's it. That's a funnel. I'm going to give you my one quick example, and this is it. Like I said, I work with a lot of chiropractors, and chiropractors, to get customers in their doors, they do something that's pretty typical in the industry. And it's pretty typical in a lot of service-based industries. Okay, so that's why I want to share with you, because there's a bit of relevance to it. So they do something, they take a whole bunch of guests to dinner. Okay, and a lot of them call this scenario, they call it dinner with the doc. And I said my wife and I have owned our own business. It's actually a clinic. By trade, I'm a chiropractor. And I've done this one myself. I've done it plenty of times. So I'm really very well aware of this kind of scenario. So here's what they do. They will take a whole bunch of guests to dinner. And when I did it way back in the day, I would take people to Outback Steakhouse. And we'd all sit down, we'd order our food. While we're waiting on our food, what I would do is talk about health. And so chiropractors will talk about health, whatever they want to say, message, so the words you speak. And at the end of talking about health, they'll give an opportunity to come in their clinic, okay? Which is the offer. Maybe it's a consultation, evaluation, XYZ. That's the offer. They would talk about health, give an opportunity to come into their business. Sales message, offer. Sales message, offer. That was a funnel. And for that funnel, that's really a presentation funnel. And I got other training videos on presentation funnels, which will go more in depth on the steps that you can actually apply that virtually, because I was doing that face-to-face, right? That was a live event face-to-face. But go check out the presentation funnel, and I'll go more in depth on how you can actually create that virtually. But that's it. That's all a funnel is a sales message and an offer. That's it. Sales message, offer. You can have a stage funnel, a presentation funnel, a lemonade stand funnel, right? So we had a message, and then we had an offer. It was fresh squeezed lemonade. That was our message. And then we had an offer, things you could buy. That's a funnel. So if you own a business, you've probably got some type of funnel already. You've got some kind of sales message, and you've got some kind of offer. Well, you say, well, that's nice, that's cute. How can I apply this online? Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can do this online and put it on automation, and even put sales on automation, which sounds incredible, right? Okay, to do that though, we've got to understand a very key concept. Okay, this is the last concept we're going to go over, and it's this. The customer journey. The customer's journey. And somebody actually talked about it in one of his books. If you know about funnels, you've probably heard of a guy named Russell Brunson. And Russell Brunson teaches a lot of marketing principles, has a software called ClickFunnels, but he teaches the concept of funnels. But he also talks about, in .com Secrets, he talks about the phases of a funnel. And he describes 7 phases of a funnel, and I'm actually going to go through that with you. Now, you can have a funnel, much like you can have a website online, but understanding the customer's journey is what makes it tick. This is what makes it work, right? I could put a website up and just have it sit there, and what's it really doing? Sitting there, not converting me, right? Not converting buyers for me. Well, I could have a funnel do the same thing. And if I don't have a good enough sales message or good enough offer, or more importantly, understand the customer journey, none of this works. So that's why it's so important to understand customer journey, because if you say, hey, why a funnel versus a website? Why should I use that? What are the different types of funnels? How do I craft my sales message offer? Again, those are 2 big onions, tons of layers. You can go check out the other training videos. But you've got to start with this. You've got to start with the customer journey. Okay, there are 7 steps. And I'm sure you can see me here. See my diva light right there. Okay, there are 7. I'm just going to go horizontally. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That didn't work at all, did it? That is okay. I'm dropping everything. Okay. 1. Well, that marker didn't work. Oh, goodness. It's wet. That's why it's not working. I have dropped another. Gosh. And we're back. Okay, so the customer journey. I'm just going to write these out just like this. Okay, there's 7 steps to the customer journey to get them to find you, get to know, like, and trust you, get to subscribe or opt in, give it exchange, typically an email address, have that exchange, and then become a buyer, and then buy more and more and more. Because who's the easiest person to sell? Somebody that's already bought from you, right? So let's go through these. The first one is the people that are coming to your funnel. The first thing you've got to understand is the temperature. And when we're talking online, a lot of people say traffic, right? Traffic is just people. So and here's a beautiful thing. You don't have to drive traffic. You've just got to go stand in front of it virtually. Traffic is already online. You don't have to drive traffic. Just go stand in front of it. Well, what traffic do I want to stand in front of virtually? Well, the traffic that is more apt to buy from me, right? So if I were selling organic dog food, so I'm selling organic dog food, do I want to stand in front of traffic virtually of people that don't own a dog? No, I don't want to stand in front of that traffic. So when we talk about traffic, we're going to give a temperature to it. So we're going to say hot, warm, cold. Well, if I'm selling dog food, the coldest traffic is somebody that doesn't even own a dog, don't like dogs. Who's the hot traffic? Somebody that has tons of dogs and they love dogs and they're all things dogs. That's hot traffic. Well, if I'm selling organic dog food, who do I want to talk to? The hotter the traffic, the easier the sale. The hotter the traffic, the easier the sale. You don't want to go after this. Why? Step number 2. So when we're talking step number 2, we're going to talk about a pre-frame bridge. Well, pre-frame, let's go through that phrase first. A pre-frame. What's a frame? Think of a picture frame. Okay, so I have my frame, and let's make this one real. More manly, or whatever. And there's a picture of me, okay? Well, if I have same picture, and maybe this one has, I don't know, flowers on it. Whatever. Understand the principle, the point. The frame often dictates how we see the picture. The frame often dictates how we see this. So if we're talking a pre-frame, so think of a door frame, they've got to go through that door. Your customer, through their journey, the customer journey, they've got to go through that door. Well, how I frame that door or that picture often dictates how they see the other side of that frame, the other side of that door, okay? Here's an example online. Say the frame that they're walking through, say they're on Facebook, they're scrolling through and I'm running Facebook ads. And I've got an ad and I've got my headline and I've got my copy and there's a picture of me, okay? So there's my ad. And, or it's a customer of mine, it's not mine. It's not a picture of me. It's a picture of a customer of mine. And say I'm running the ad, and in the ad, I have that picture of someone. It says, this guy, Corey, he sold me the software Content Alchemy, and it totally sucks. I paid him for marketing, and it was a total scam. He robbed me. He took all my money. He devastated my family. Click on the link to see exactly what happened. how are you immediately going to feel? You don't even know me. How are you going to feel about me? Because he's talking about me. How are you going to feel about me as you click the button to learn more? You're not going to like me, right? So that ad framed that person going to the next step. So one, we've got to go after the hot traffic. I'm selling organic dog food. I want people that are dog owners, okay? And then I want to bridge, I want to create a pre-frame bridge. Well, let's go back to this example and say it's that same guy, and there's the copy, headline, whatever. Oh my gosh, this guy Corey and his software content alchemy. He also teaches marketing principles and techniques and strategies. It has absolutely fundamentally changed my business, changed my life for the better. I'm able to have more freedom, time with my wife, my kids. It's been incredible. And I didn't think that it would happen so fast that I was able to retire early. Click on the link to see exactly what I did and how Corey can help you too. Different frame, right? So I'm framing this in a very specific way. I'm saying, hey, Corey was awesome. All right, so this was the good and this is the bad, but I'm framing, and not to say you have to do good or bad, but I'm framing that person going to the next step. You've got to be able to do the exact same thing. Well, and when I'm pre-framing, I'm telling a story. So that pre-frame is a story on a bridge. So if I'm to draw a bridge, it's a story. Well, story on this bridge. This is a really long one. Bridge. Which one's going to be easier for my customer to cross? Which bridge? The short one or the long one? Meaning, how many steps are they going to have to take? Well, they're going to have to take a lot of steps here. So that gap is bigger for this person versus this person. Well, how do these correlate? Cold traffic. That bridge is a long bridge for somebody that doesn't own a dog. Now I got to convince them to own a dog so they'll buy my food. And somebody that doesn't like dogs, good luck, right? That's cold traffic. I don't want cold traffic. I want somebody that already owns a dog. That bridge is shorter. And so the story that I have to tell to get them to cross that bridge is a much easier story to tell. So you've got to understand, hey, who do I want to go after? I want to go after this hot traffic. And what can I say to them? So we're already starting. Remember that sales message? We're already saying something. We're telling a story. Well, I can tell a story to this person, and they're going to relate a lot more to my organic dog food because they're the dog owner. Okay? So that's the person I want to go after. So if you're running Facebook ads, you want to go after the hot traffic, right? We've got to understand, who are we going after? It always goes back to the who, your ideal customer, right? Your ideal client. And what can I say to them? My story, because I want that real short bridge, okay? And if I can tell them a story, so this is my Facebook ad, for example. There's a lot of different, maybe this is my YouTube video, my blog post, my whatever, okay? But I want them to get to the next step. So what story can I tell this hot traffic that'll get them to click or move, right? If I'm talking organic dog food, the hot traffic is more apt to click versus down here, right? So what story can I tell is the question you want to be able to ask yourself. Well, if I can tell them a story and get them a click, then I want to qualify them. Hey, how legit is this relationship? Okay. I want to qualify my subscribers. Who's willing to begin the exchange? Who's willing to begin the exchange of something? Like I said, typically the email address. So I'll go back to that landing page example. And I said the email, hey, give me your email for the free ebook. And then they whack the gimme button, right? Who's willing to do that? of all these people, so I'm driving traffic, and if I'm thinking funnel, we can even be kind of literal with this. If I'm to draw a funnel, right? So I'm driving all that traffic, and most people will hit that first layer. And yeah, it gets less and less and less. But the person that comes out the back end is my lifetime customer, my dream customer. So is everybody going to hit every step? Is everybody going to give me their email? No, but someone will, right? And if I'm pointing this ad or what have you, this video, it's tailored to my hot traffic, then the odds of the success of this step it converts more, right? So I'm going after this. I'm telling them a great story, small gap. They just got to take a step off a curb. It's not the 80-foot cliff. It's just that step off a curb. It's a small story. Ooh, then they'll click on, say, my landing page. Well, I want to know, well, if you'll come to my landing page, will you give me your email address? All right, so I want to qualify my subscriber. And for the next step, I want to qualify a buyer. So I'm gonna keep that up. Well, if you'll give me your email, will you give me some money? And this could be a low ticket offer. And so I got a video here, and they're going to give me money. I'm selling them something. Hey, here's a quick course. So if I'm, like I said, the chiropractors that are clients, maybe they'll give away a free ebook. And then the next step, well, maybe they sell something, some low ticket supplement or whatever. And it doesn't have to be a physical product. It can be a physical product. But all I want to know in my customer's journey, who's willing to exchange? Well, of all those people that raise their hand saying, yeah, I'll give you my email address, of those people, so I got a room of 1,000 people virtually. And 200 said, I'll give you my email address. Okay, of you 200, because the rest of them, they don't want to give me an email address. There's no reason in selling to them. I just want to talk to the people that will give me something. They're going to be the easier sale. Make sense? So of those 200, okay, to you guys over here, hey, thank you, love and blessings, but I want to talk to you guys, this 200 people. Well, you give me your email address, and I'm going to follow up with them. Maybe I have a follow-up email sequence or whatever. But will you give me some money? And if they'll give me some money, I want to know, maybe I send them to another page. Will you give me some more money? I sold a $47 quick course or supplement or whatever. And if they're going to buy that, will they buy more? If they're willing to buy more, I can really cultivate a good relationship, because ultimately my dream customer's coming out of this, right? Your best client is the person that came to you, bought from you, and bought from you again and again and again. We've all had those customers that were the one and done, right? Are they your best customer? No way. The people that are the best customer are the ones that stayed with you for years and years and years. And if you've owned a business for any length of time, those are the ones you want to deal with in the first place, right? So in our clinic, we're not looking for new people. The people that have been here for years. Like, we're not trying to grow it. We have it, but we're not trying to grow it. But everybody that's here has been here for years, and we love those people. We want to take great care of them, right? We've gone through all these steps with them. So this works for brick and mortar. It works for service-based industries. It works for all the different types of funnels that I listed off in the beginning. The sales funnel, the application, the physical product, the subscription, just buying over and over and over again. This works for all of it. But we've got to understand this first to apply those different types of funnels, okay? So the hyper buyer, meaning, and Russell even talks about in this book, he says, hey, I took my employees out to go bowling, and so they were bowling and somebody beat him. And he's all kinds of angry that night. He's a real competitive guy, especially with sports. He says, gosh, that night I got on the computer and I'm trying to buy all the things bowling, right? I got to buy a new ball, and I got to buy the shoes, and I'm going to buy this training course, because when we go back out there, we go bowling again, I'm going to show that guy up, so to speak, right? And in that moment, he's a hyper buyer. Now, if he'd have waited a week and cooled off, would he have been necessarily a hyper buyer? No. That's why, number one, I want to know, hey, will you give me some money? And then immediately, will you give me more money? Because somebody's going to come out of this spending money. You know, it's funny, when you give somebody the opportunity to spend more money, they spend more money, right? Not everybody will. This funnel gets smaller, but somebody will, right? Somebody will buy it. And we even had, talking about my son's lemonade stand, even had kind of an upsell there. And did everybody buy it? No. Did everybody buy the offer? And again, we talk about crafting an offer formally in other videos inside this library. But did everybody buy the offer versus just buying the lemonade? No, they didn't. However, since we had that offer, we increased sales 37%. Same idea here. Hey, I gave an opportunity to buy more. Somebody's going to do it, right? Fascinating. It's fascinating psychologically. This next step, well, now that I know you'll give me some good money, now this step is age and ascend. Age and ascend. And so for that one, I just want to age, and I just want to go up and up and up, and I want to solve problems for them, and I want to be there for them. If I'm a coach, I want to be able to follow up with them. I want to be able to help them. If I'm a service-based provider, I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to follow up with them. And we've got to age, and time is involved in this one. How much time? That's up to you, and it's based on your industry, your business, your niche, your model. But we've got to have some time here. We've got to age and ascend relationships. Kind of like, so when my wife and I started dating in chiropractic school, you age the relationship, right? You don't go on the first date and say, hey, will you marry me? I mean, somebody may, but mostly, oh my gosh, she'll think you're crazy and run, right? So I can't ask her on the first date, hey, will you marry me? No way. I've got to age and ascend the relationship. And I mean, the cool thing is we knew pretty quickly we were ultimately going to get married, which is totally awesome. We still aged and ascended the relationship. Time passed here. Okay, let time pass with your customer. And the next one, this one is really going to be the high ticket sale right here. There are businesses that make 6 figures. There are businesses that make 7 figures. There are businesses that make 8 figures. And is it really the difference between those different businesses, those different tiers? Is it the product? No. And he even talks about that. Russell does in his book. He says, it's not the product you sell. It's not the type of business you run online or local brick and mortar. It's not the traffic. It's not the sales copy. It's not a high converting website. It's not a product launch method. The real difference between having a 6, 7, or even 8-figure business is whether you understand the phases of a funnel, customer journey, the phases of a funnel, and can successfully monetize the different points along the line. I got to successfully monetize this, and then successfully monetize this, and then successfully monetize this. This sale, since it's a higher price point, maybe it's, obviously there are tons of variables, especially based on industry and business. This one doesn't cost as much as this one. Maybe this one was $297. Maybe this one was, let's make it a little more, $29.97. Well, can I sell, if I just got somebody's email and then bring them here and say, hey, you just gave me your email. How about $3,000? No way, it's never going to convert, ever. I've got to go through all the steps. I got to go through the journey with them. So here, I can do this from a subscriber to $47 product. Yeah, that can happen. And then here to a $297, maybe a short presentation, a short webinar, whatever. Yeah, you can do that. But going to something that's $3,000, to be successful in that, this was all done virtually, all the way from here, steps 1 through 5, 6. I mean, a lot of this can even be put on automation. All of that automation, great. This one, to sell that kind of price point, you really need to change. To be successful, you need to change the selling environment. Instead of selling online, maybe it's I'm not going to draw this very well, but you get the point. There's my phone. Maybe get on the phone with them, or have a So he's holding his phone from his cell phone from the 90s, of huge things, big bricks. So this guy would get on the phone, right? That's not my drawing. This guy will get on the phone, whether it's a customer service rep or you have a sales team, whatever. But changing that environment will increase the likelihood of a sale. Even when I'm working with chiropractors and they're going through, they're hitting their hot traffic, they got their story, their sales message, they're getting subscribers, maybe for an ebook, whatever. Qualifying a buyer, maybe they did do a dinner with the doc, like we talked about at the beginning of the video. A low ticket thing, we need to change the environment for them to sell maybe a care package plan. Maybe they're doing detox program or weight loss or some kind of corrective care plan in their office. Are they going to be able to do that virtually? The success rate's going to be on the floor, meaning it's not going to be very good. Could they do that at that dinner event? I mean, if they're a really good seller, but to get that price point, have them in the office. Maybe they've been there a few times and then do this. And the reason I say been there a few times, because you can't forget this step, agent ascend. I got to cultivate that relationship. I got to get them to really know, like, and trust me if I want to sell somebody a $3,000 product or service, right? So this doesn't happen right out the bat. I can't ask my soon-to-be wife on our first date, hey, will you marry me? Go ahead and marry me. I can't do that. I got to agent ascend, and then I can go in for the close, right? You got to go in for the close when you propose, but it's got to be a different environment. It's got to be a totally different environment. So we're not out on our first date. We've been on several dates at that point and dated for years. But if you understand who your traffic is, the hot traffic, if you understand the story that you can tell them, sales message, they're the same thing. The story you can tell them and get them to click, then give them something, qualify them. Hey, who's a subscriber? Who will give me their email address? Of you people that'll give me your email address, who will give me some money? And of that 200, they gave you the email. Maybe only 100 gave you some money. Well, okay, I want to talk to you again. Will you give me some more money? And maybe 25 did. Okay, well, if you gave me some more money, 25, the likelihood of me talking to those 25 out of that big room of 1,000, remember that? Me talking to those 25 specifically, I'm going to have a higher conversion rate and make more sales there than in those 25 than the remaining 975 that were originally in the room. So who do I really want to talk to for this high ticket product? Those 25. Really, that's it. But we got to understand the 7 steps of the customer journey to be able to apply a funnel. So why a funnel? A lot of this can be on automation. If that sounds appealing, you want to go through your 7 steps and figure out who you're talking to, who becomes your hot traffic, figure out that message, the thing you're speaking, whatever the words you're going to type onto that landing page. Figure out, hey, what can I give them that's going to solve a problem in exchange for an email? And then if you own your own business, you probably already have all these pieces there. But understanding the customer journey makes the funnel game online way easier. Go check out the other videos, the lead generation funnel, the presentation funnel, the sales funnel, the application funnel, physical product, homepage, subscription, and we'll see you on the next training.